Welcome back, everybody. I am Brett Seidl, owner and principal designer of Lewis & Rose Interiors. We're talking paint today and maybe a color scheme that you don't think is either A, trending right now or that might make you itch or scare you a little bit, and that's browns. But you got to stay with me because I'm going to share why you need to know these three brown colors and why I actually think you really need to have at least one of them somewhere in your house, regardless of your style. I'm Brett Seidl, the owner and principal designer of Lewis & Rose Interiors, a residential interior design firm located in booming Frisco, Texas. We are so excited to bring you everything from practical design tips and tricks to fun room reveals, to informative interviews, and of course, a whole lot of really beautiful designs. Like, subscribe, and then comment with your thoughts and questions. We love hearing from you and can't wait to share with you some truly fun and inspiring content. So welcome. All right, we're gonna work up to my absolute favorite kind of brown beige shade, but first we're gonna start on the really saturated side, and it's one of my absolute favorites for dark browns, and it's called Griffin. This is a color, Sherwin Williams Griffin, by the way. Sherwin Williams is who we use pretty much all the time. So Sherwin Williams Griffin, and this is a color that I discovered maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, and fell in love with it. And I know that browns are not quote unquote trending right now, and that really people are still kind of bucking at it because they were so popular in the 90s. But here's the thing, the browns of the 90s are not the same shades as the browns of, what do we call that? The 2000s? I don't even know what, of the current times, right? So Griffin is a beautiful, beautiful, deep chocolate shade of brown. Most recently, I used this in a master bedroom for a lake home because I wanted it to feel so drippingly luxurious. So I used this color on all the walls and all of the ceiling, and then paired it with really, really beautiful, luxurious white velvet blackout drapes. And so I love this color because it doesn't have purple undertones, which is something that you really need to watch out for when you're picking browns. A lot of them have purple. And then when you get a lot of light coming in, it will not look brown at all. It will look purple and you will absolutely hate it. So Griffin is one of those shades that it does not look purple. It's just the perfect deep chocolate brown color. Second of my favorite and kind of the browns paint family is called Sherwin Williams Tony Taupe. So I've used this in a lot of different applications. It's really just that perfect kind of middle ground taupe color, not brown, not really beige, not overly saturated, not underly saturated. And so I love this one as something that you can do in kitchens if you're wanting to do that dual colored kitchen, but you're absolutely not wanting color. So this is something we've used where we've put kind of the Tony Taupe on all of the base cabinets and the island, and then all of the uppers we'll do a white, usually like a Sherwin Williams alabaster is what we do. So it still gives you that really kind of complex looking kitchen when it's still just fully neutral. So Tony Taupe is a really great one. I've also used this one recently on a ceiling actually to pair with wallpaper. Again, it's just a really warm middle tone, inviting taupe beige color to go with. So the last one and my personal favorite when it comes to the brown beige family of paints is Sherwin Williams Accessible Beige. This is a beautiful shade of beige that we have used a lot. This is one that you can do a variety of different saturations with depending on how much kind of contrast you want against your trim. So if you're really wanting that bright, fresh look on your walls, but maybe you're not wanting to redo the trim color, so you can't do white because it'll look yellow. If you do that beige, accessible beige, you can reduce the saturation to 75% or 50%. So it gives just a little bit of warmth on your walls, but still gives you that bright, fresh feeling. This is also one that we love to use when people are really not wanting to use grays. So we use this in a lot of the homes who have a lot of their decor is kind of still there from like the early 2000s, late 90s, where it's a little bit heavier. There's still a lot of reds and oranges and yellows, which we're actually trending back towards. But in order to make their home feel cohesive, we go more toward the beige. And so accessible beige is my number one go-to. I also love this one because it doesn't have a lot of weird yellow or even green undertones, which a lot of beiges can have. It works really well almost all of the time, regardless of how much natural light that you get in. But regardless, when picking any colors, especially the neutral colors, I highly recommend you going and getting a sample of it, or actually nowadays you can order like a sheet sticker sample, put it on the multiple areas in different rooms that you're wanting it to go on. That way you can really see what does it look like when all the light's coming in? What does it look like in the evening? What does it look like with your artificial light that's coming from recessed or from your ambient lighting? So neutrals are always tricky, but in general, accessible beige across the board is gonna be one that you very, very rarely get any weird undertones for. So I love this color for beige and just that barely there warm feeling for paint color. All right, so those were my personal favorites as well as my go-to design firms favorites for really the browns and the beiges. Paint colors, if you like this, please make sure that you like and subscribe so that we can continue to pump out better and more videos for you each week.